Absolutely huge month for graded sports magazines. Let's check out the top 10 highest sales from August 2024. Before we roll into the top 10, let's start off with some honorable mentions that just missed the cut. And we're going to start with this Magic Johnson first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from 1978. It is, of course, a newsstand. And this is a CGC 8.0, the Super Softs. Magic Johnson was a sophomore at Michigan State. And this copy went for $1,400 on eBay. Next up, we've got Walter Payton's first Sports Illustrated cover from 1976, the NFL's New Stars. Also a newsstand, graded a nice CGC 8.0. This one sold on Golden Auctions for $1,830. From 1984, this is the second Sports Illustrated cover for Michael Jordan playing for Team USA at the Los Angeles Olympics. And this is a CGC 7.0 copy, newsstand, sold on Golden Auctions for $1,830. From 1977, one of my all-time favorite covers, and that is the first Sports Illustrated cover for Larry legend Larry Bird with Indiana State Sycamores, college basketball's secret weapon. It's a CGC 8.0 newsstand copy. It's sold on eBay for $1,895. From 2000, Kobe Bryant on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It's the Survivors cover, the famous series where they defeated the Portland Trail Blazers. Of course, you had that Kobe to Shaq lob, alley-oop late in the fourth quarter to clinch the series. And this is actually Kobe's first solo cover. This one's been autographed, authenticated by PSA, and sold on eBay raw for $2,000. From 1991, we're getting an early taste of PSA with magazines here. Of course, this is not graded, but it is slabbed by PSA, and that's because it is a single page. This is the cover only of the Michael Jordan Sportsman of the Year hologram issue from 1991. Of course, we do know that PSA is in the process of rolling out grading for magazines. We're expecting that sometime in January of 2025. But for now, they will still slab and authenticate single pages, just like it's a photograph that have been autographed. And that's what we've got here. We've got the cover signed by MJ, authenticated and slabbed by PSA, and it sold for $2,500 on eBay. From 2016, this is the first Sports Illustrated cover for Lamar Jackson back in his college days playing at Louisville. And this is a nice CGC 9.8 copy sold on Heritage Auctions for $2,520. From 2012, you've got a LeBron James 9.8 going for a very strong price, $2,525.25. Of course, this is nowhere near his first cover. This is kind of in the middle of his career, but I will say this is one of his tougher covers to find in newsstand. You don't see this one very often. It's got a pretty low pop count. And yeah, once again, $2,525.25. All right, next up, this one is very interesting. This is from 1982. This is the McDonald's Capital Classic game program, the ninth annual, the nation's most prestigious high school basketball event. And don't know who that is laying it in at the hoop, but if you look in the background, in the white jersey, number 15, that is a young Michael Jordan representing Laney High School. Yes, before he entered college at North Carolina. This is possibly the very first time that Michael Jordan ever appeared on a magazine cover. It is the earliest example that I personally know of. In fact, the person who owned this and who found this messaged me and asked me if I knew of any covers that preceded this one with Michael Jordan, and I have not been able to find one. So very possible this is the earliest magazine cover appearance for Michael Jordan. This is graded at a CGC 9.0. This one sold on Heritage for $3,240. There've only been two copies of this graded, the other being a 7.0. So this is, of course, a Pop 1 with none higher. Okay, here's the part of the honorable mentions where we have a few non-sports magazines, and this is Playboy from 1985, and you've got Madonna on the cover. It's been autographed by Madonna, authenticated by JSA, and it sold on eBay for $1,965. We're always a fan of Marilyn Monroe around here, and this is her on the cover of Time magazine from 1956, her first Time magazine cover appearance. It's a CGC 6.5. This is the Atlantic edition. It's sold on eBay for just south of $2,000. Next up, this is a 2024 Time magazine. You got Pikachu on the cover. This has 24 autographs, apparently all 24 of the original English voice actors from the show. Don't quote me on it, but that's what the eBay listing said. This one went on eBay for $2,600. Next up, Time Magazine from 1964. Great cover here with MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. It is a subscription copy, but this one's been signed by Martin Luther King Jr. Now, there was no certificate of authenticity, but regardless, it sold on eBay for $2,000. Here we've got Nintendo Fun Club News from 1987. This is issue number 1. And of course, this was basically the predecessor to the much more popular Nintendo Power magazine. And this raw copy sold on eBay for $2,100. Here we've got Marilyn Monroe again. This time she's on issue number 1 of Playboy, dating back to 1953. It is a CGC 4.5 copy. It's sold on eBay for $3,850. And rounding out our honorable mentions, how about this? Paper magazine from 2014. That is Kim Kardashian on the cover, and it's a CGC 9.8 copy. This one sold for $6,500. This issue has been graded 23 times, and this is the only copy graded at a 9.8. All right, let's roll into the top 10 highest selling sports magazines from last month, August 2024. Coming in at number 10, it is my guy, Jerry West, from Cabin Creek to Hollywood and Vine. This is the logo. This is his very first cover appearance on Sports Illustrated going back to 1965. It's a beautiful CGC 9.2 copy. This one sold on Golden Auctions for $3,355. There have only been 10 newsstand copies of this Jerry West first cover ever graded by CGC, and this is a Pop 1 with none graded higher. At number 9, it's the first Sports Illustrated cover for Michael Jordan alongside teammate Sam Perkins for the North Carolina Tar Heels. This is from 1983. It's a CGC 7.0 newsstand copy. This one sold on Golden Auctions for $3,660. This, of course, is considered to be one of the holy grails in the hobby. It's been graded 152 times as a newsstand, and at the 7.0 level, it is a Pop 21 with 42 copies graded higher. At number 8, it's the finally issue. Michael Jordan and the Bulls reached their first NBA Finals. Of course, they did go on to win that Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. This is a CGC 9.6 copy, and it sold on Golden Auctions for $4,270. 55 newsstand copies of this issue have been graded, and at the 9.6 level, it's one of only 6 with none graded higher. Coming in at number 7, it's a fan favorite, and that is the first Sports Illustrated cover for Tiger Woods from 1996. This is a CGC 9.8 copy, and it sold on Golden Auctions for $5,490. There have been 140 newsstand copies graded of this issue, and this is one of 11 9.8s. Coming in at number 6, we got Michael Jordan. This is the Another Bull Run cover. Can Michael Jordan and Chicago finally make it to the top? And that's against the Portland Trail Blazers there. This is a CGC 9.6 copy. This one sold on Golden Auctions for $6,100. There have been 43 newsstand copies graded. It's a Pop 5, and there's only one copy graded higher. Again, from 1990, we've got another Michael Jordan cover, and this one is the Showtime cover, and it's also a CGC 9.6. And this one sold on Golden Auctions for $6,222. 50 newsstand copies graded. It is a Pop 5 with 2 copies graded higher. Throwing it back here a little with this one, this is Jim Brown, one of the greatest running backs, one of the greatest football players of all time. It's his first Sports Illustrated cover from 1960. This is a beautiful CGC 8.0 newsstand copy sold on eBay for $7,500. There have only been 30 newsstand copies graded of Jim Brown's first cover, and this is a Pop 3 with only one copy graded higher. Coming in at number 3, we've got a pretty unique one here. This is from 1921, over 100 years old, and it's the Dope Sheet. This was a game program for the Green Bay Packers. And if I'm not mistaken, this was for the second ever game played by the Green Bay Packers. Apparently, these dope sheets were not a long running publication. They're only around for a very short time. There's very few of them still surviving out there. And this is a nice CGC 8.5 copy. This sold on Heritage Auctions, folks, for $15,600. It is the only copy of this particular game program that has been graded. There's also never been one graded of the issue number one. All right, and believe it or not, we have a two-way tie at number one with two monster sales. And we're going to start off with this Mickey Mantle first Sports Illustrated cover from 1956. This is a newsstand copy. Absolutely beautiful. CGC 8.0. This is the Holy Grail, folks. And this one went in a private sale for $18,000. I know the buyer, I know the seller, two very prominent and very passionate collectors in this hobby who are very active in our different Facebook groups. So I was able to confirm this sale from both parties, and congratulations to the buyer, congratulations to the seller. Like I said, this is the grail in the hobby, and picking up a Mickey Mantle newsstand for $18,000. And there have been 69 copies of this one graded in newsstand. Now that is combining the centerfold variant along with the non-centerfold variant. That is combining both sets of newsstands all together. And at the 8.0 level, it's a pop 4 with 19 copies graded higher. And coming in at the other number one spot, also going for 18 grand, we got the first Sports Illustrated cover for Iron Mike Tyson, known here as Kid Dynamite. This is from 1986, and it is a beautiful CGC 9.8 copy. The sale happened on Heritage Auctions. There have only been 45 newsstand copies graded of Mike Tyson's first cover, and at the 9.8 level, this is one of only two copies in existence, with none graded higher. All right, folks, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel. I also appreciate likes and comments. And until the next video, we will see you next time.